Hey guys, Stas here from Superior Science, and today we're going to make the world's best solar oven. So for a bit of theory here, the sun is definitely necessary for all life on Earth, from something like a plant, which uses the sun's rays to create energy by a pigment called chlorophyll, or even to humans, which we create vitamin D from UV radiation from the sun from certain receptors in our skin. So we can also use the sun to power some of our biggest structures, for example, solar panels, and it travels in something called a wave pattern, which is that image you see in the bottom of the screen. Certain colors absorb light and others reflect it, which is super important if you want your oven to work well. So the materials needed for this activity are some type of cardboard box. I used a shoebox. You could definitely use a pizza box or anything else you can find. You're going to need a good amount of tape, so make sure you have that. You're going to need some black or dark construction paper for the base. You're also going to need some aluminum foil, clear plastic, saran wrap. You're going to need a box cutter or knife and some scissors, so make sure you have an adult or somebody else around to help you with that if you need it. You're going to need a ruler, which is kind of optional just in case you want everything to be super clean cut, but not necessary at all, and some extra paper for some insulation. Alright, let's get started. So the first step here is you're going to want to use that box cutter or knife to cut a good size square or rectangle in the top of whatever box you've chosen. So like I just said, you're definitely going to want to get some help with this if you are not comfortable doing this on your own. The next step here is we're going to want to attach tin foil to all the sides on the inside of the container that you've chosen except for the bottom. So as you can see here in the video, I've clearly put tape on all sides and attached tin foil to it on everything except the very bottom of the container. So now once you have all the tin foil in place, the next thing you're going to do is grab a black or really dark piece of construction paper and attach it to the base where you actually didn't put any tin foil. The reason that this is so important is because the dark or especially black color absorbs light very well and will direct the sun's rays to the bottom of the solar oven, which is the cooking surface. So once this has been completed, the next thing you're going to want to do is grab the saran wrap and pull it really, really tight across the top of the box. So on the very top layer of the top portion of your shoebox or pizza box, you're going to want to pull it tight and tape it to the side so it creates an airtight seal. You want no air going through. So now you're going to want to repeat this step again on the bottom of the lid. So now you have a double layer of saran wrap taped really well. For this part, it would be best to use clear tape just so that the reflective surface of the tinfoil doesn't get covered by any of the masking tape you would use, but again, completely optional. So the next few steps here are just going to be things that will increase the effectiveness of your solar oven, but aren't really that necessary. I think they're really good. The first one would be to duct tape or just really heavily tape each of the corners of the bottom part of your box. That'll ensure that there's an airtight seal near the cooking surface so that no air and therefore heat can escape while you're cooking. The next of these steps would be to insulate the very, very bottom of your base by taping a bunch of paper or scrap paper, newspaper. I used graph paper. Any of that works really well, and that just serves to increase the amount of heat retained by the bottom of the solar oven and therefore the whole cooking surface. So that's pretty much it in terms of actually making a solar oven. As you can see, it's pretty simple and requires little to no equipment and materials. So it's an awesome thing to have and they work pretty well. So what I will tell you for practical use is to put your solar oven out in the sun in obviously a very clear and open area between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. That's usually when the sun's rays are most intense. And also for safety, please, please, pretty please, with a cherry on top, pretty please, don't put anything like meat or eggs in the solar oven to cook. It's a good oven, but it's not that good. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you guys make some deadly stuff with your solar oven. P.S. S'mores in a solar oven? Oh, nothing can beat them.